No country in history has ever done what America has done. Over 800 military bases, 37% of global military spending. But how did a former colony go from independence to becoming the world's only true superpower? To find out, we have to rewind the clock. The modern United States is not just powerful, it is the global system. Over 800 military bases, nearly 40% of global military spending, a currency that fuels global trade. But how? How did this former British colony rise from obscurity to dominate the globe? To understand America's unmatched power, we need to go back, not just to World War II, but all the way to the beginning, because America didn't start as a superpower. It built itself strategically, step by step, and it all started with land. In its first century, the United States expanded across North America, driven by a belief in manifest destiny, the idea that it was destined to control the continent. But that dream came at a cost. Indigenous communities were slaughtered, displaced, and erased. It was brutal and effective. By the late 1800s, America stretched from sea to sea, but even then, many Americans believed that expansion should stop at the coast. Post-Civil War leaders like William Seward pushed back. He managed to purchase Alaska, but failed to acquire Greenland, Iceland, and Caribbean territory. Congress resisted, fueled by anti-imperialist sentiment and deeply racist fears about integrating foreign populations. Still, something bigger was happening beneath the surface. The Industrial Revolution, factories were booming, cities were swelling, railroads and telegraphs connected the country like never before. And with economic power came political power and ambition. The true turning point came in 1898. President McKinley, eager to assert American power, led the U.S. into war against Spain over Cuba. It was a swift and decisive victory. But the real story? America didn't just liberate Cuba. It gained Puerto Rico, Guam, and the Philippines. It annexed Hawaii and took control of Samoa and Wake Island. In just a few years, the United States transformed into an overseas empire. And with each new territory came military bases, naval power, and strategic footholds around the globe. America was no longer just a nation, it was a network. The early 20th century saw the U.S. grow richer and more connected. It installed friendly governments in Nicaragua, meddled in Chinese affairs, and built the Panama Canal. Still, many Americans wanted no part of European politics. That changed with World War I. American intervention helped end the war. President Wilson even proposed a new global order through the League of Nations. But Congress once again said no. Isolationism won out. Yet America couldn't fully retreat. The world was too connected and America too invested. The real transformation happened during World War II. The U.S. was attacked at Pearl Harbor, and it responded with overwhelming force. It produced more tanks, ships, and planes than any other nation. It became the arsenal of democracy. And when the war ended, only one nation stood truly unbroken: the United States. It had half the world's wealth and a monopoly on nuclear weapons. With this power, it led the creation of the United Nations, the World Bank, and the IMF, institutions that still shape the world today. It built a global system designed to prevent war, promote trade, and, let's be honest, protect American interests. But peace didn't last. The Soviet Union, America's wartime ally, had very different ideas. The Cold War began, a battle not just of nukes and spies, but of worldviews. To contain communism, the U.S. made military alliances across Europe and Asia, supported rebels, toppled regimes, and stationed troops everywhere. From Vietnam to Afghanistan, Latin America to the Middle East, American fingerprints were everywhere. It was messy, it was controversial, but it worked. By 1991, the Soviet Union collapsed, and the U.S., it stood alone. With no rival in sight, America didn't pull back. It expanded NATO, signed global trade deals, maintained bases on every continent. Presidents from both parties believed a stable world meant an involved America. And while there were critics, especially after wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, no serious effort has been made to dismantle America's global presence. Then came President Trump. He challenged the very logic of America's role, questioning NATO, criticizing trade deals, and suggesting allies pay for U.S. protection. Was this a return to isolationism or just a negotiating tactic? Today, America remains the cornerstone of global stability, But cracks are showing. Rising powers like China are pushing back. Domestic divisions are growing. And Americans themselves are asking, should we still be the world's policeman? Whatever the answer, the story of how America rose to power is clear. It wasn't luck. It was a calculated series of choices, economic, military, and political, that built the world's first truly global empire. The question now is, will the 21st century still belong to America? If you liked the video, please share your thoughts on comment section and don't forget to like and subscribe.